Hey guys, welcome back to Atomally Games. I'm Adam, and today we have a very special gameplay for you today, and it is called Metal Gear Solid: The Fan Legacy. What this game is Airam Hernandez is a one-man solo machine who made this game. He wanted to design the original Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation 1 and remaster it in the Unreal Engine 4. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line it got close to being shut down. So what the creator Airam Hernandez did was make the game into a museum type project to give a shout out to the creators of the series, Hideo Kojima, Konami, David Hayter, and the fans as well. He's included many different art projects, cosplays, and graphic art from artists. Installed them into the game, and they're all over the walls and the structures and everything. As you can tell, I'm a huge Metal Gear Solid fan, and I'm excited to play this. It's been a long time coming, and I've been waiting a long time to play this. And that musical score, it touches a brother's heart. So we're going to get started with this gameplay. I'm going to try to explore every single nook and cranny that this game has to offer. Once again, this is not a game, but it is at the same time. It is brought in the style of a museum to pay homage to the Metal Gear saga. So we're gonna get started. And this looks just beautiful. This is what I would expect from an actual remake of the game. And I have no words right now. I'm putting on my nostalgia goggles right now. We'll get to him in a minute. This is, I'm not sure how long exactly he's been working on this. I know I first heard about it about a year ago, and that's my phone, sorry about that. And he's essentially been working on this for about a year or so, and this is actually going to be part 1 here. And he's uploading the rest in the weeks to come, but as far as I understand, the game is complete. He's just having to upload it, and that's an excellent cosplay, sir. Luke Nakamura, that's great. Note, need to develop wormhole ASAP. For those who played the Metal Gear Solid 5 or the Ground Zeroes, you'll understand that reference. And look at this guy. I mean, that's a great cosplay. That's pinpoint accuracy right there. I don't have any more tears to shed. And this is just fantastic. I mean, look at the water flow and everything. It's beautiful. It's stunning. I'm getting the feels right now, guys, because it's bringing back so many memories of the first time that I played the first Metal Gear Solid for the PlayStation system, and I got the feels right now. And of course, we have the man, the legend, the cigarette-smoking Solid Snake. And that's perfect. This was a rendered creation by the creator Airam, and I hope I'm saying his name right. I really hope so. I don't mean to insult him at all, but that's a great 3D model of Solid Snake, of course, with the SOCOM silencer and pistol. It's beautiful. For those wondering, kind of what this is about. I'm not sure if Konami wanted to shut this game down or not, but the project was scrapped. It was meant to be an entire playable game, but this is what we get. And I can't thank him enough for continuing to go on and finish this project as is, as one guy with help with the music, obviously. And if you look over here, he actually got an interview with David Hayter. And if you don't know who David Hayter is, he is the original voice of Solid Snake. And from what I understand, he got him over Skype and asked him questions that the fans wanted answered, and what he wanted to ask him, and also what David / Solid Snake wanted to tell the fans. So I'm going to try to hit these up. I know some of them you have to stay by it to hear what David actually had to say, and others you don't. So I'll try to explore as he's giving his words of wisdom.
Oh, it's been amazing. It's really the part of my lifetime, and to be able to play uh, the lead role in such amazing, groundbreaking games over the course of 12 years and 9 games was pretty incredible. I never would have suspected it when I first went into audition. So it was a huge honor to play it, and then it continues to be. I was talking to people on the street today who are big fans, and it affects my life on a daily basis. It's just I'm really, really grateful to have been a part of that.
And I mean, we feel the same way. Without your voice being lended to the character Solid Snake, we could have gotten a one-dimensional character that didn't have really any depth. Of course, Snake's dry sense of humor and just complete badassery. It's, I can't thank David enough for that. Oh, this is amazing. The graphical detail and everything. And this was built in the Unreal Engine 4. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but let's go over to the next little voiceover here.
Yes. Well, one time, so in Metal Gear 4, Snake is aging prematurely, and there's a scene where Jennifer Hale, playing Naomi, has him undressed, and she sees, how much older he's gotten, and she said, in one take, she was joking, and she was like, "Oh, Snake, you're so shriveled," and meaning my shriveled snake, really meaning my penis, and that almost stayed in the game track because the Japanese producers didn't catch it, and so that almost ended up in the game. So that was pretty. That was pretty.
That's excellent. That's just kind of the humor that was set inside of these games, sort of dry and if you don't catch it, you could easily pass it over. But that's really funny. And here we're coming up to a chibi fan art, that's really cool. And we'll continue on down here. I wish I could walk a little faster, or maybe a run option. Oh! A hind D. That's excellent. It's so mini. That is great. This is just, I keep repeating myself as to how excellent this looks, but I really can't get over myself here because, is the camera here? Oh, it's missing the camera. Oh, Metal Gear Rex. Look at that. So shiny and beautiful. It's almost the size of the walkers on the Metal Gear Solid 5 game. That's cool. That is so awesome. I can't believe it. And all this fan art. I mean, I really appreciate that, the creator of this actually took the time to go through, you know, what people uploaded to him and gave him to put in the game. It really does fan service and really lets us know, and the creator himself, um, the pistol in the back, the very first weapon you get. But it really pays homage to people, especially the creators, but also the fans, you know, that put a lot of work into the love of the game. And, you know, thank you for doing that. But, oh, here's another cosplay one right up here. Meryl Sama. That's really cool. I guess my only complaint, and it's a really light complaint, is that I wish I could move faster, but you know I feel like I'm being greedy, and you know I don't want to come off like that, because overall this is stunning. The controls are smooth, everything, and I'm playing on a controller just because I'm used to a controller. But this is great. It's really bringing back that nostalgic feel. And, you know, this is what honestly could have been the game that we all deserve, you know? It's the game that we deserve, but Konami felt that we didn't need. Sort of a Batman reference, but this is just absolutely stunning. And, of course, up here we got the ducts that you crawl in. The many ways into the building here. Shadow Moses. It's just beautiful. Really can't say that enough. I'm probably going to say it about 1,000 more times during this gameplay, but what are you going to do? It's stunning. And we'll go down here. As far as I know, the only thing you can do is jump. You can't really crawl or anything, and I suppose that's, you know, restricted based on, you know, the project potentially being shut down, but what are you going to do? It's easy to forget what a sin is in the middle of a battlefield. That's really cool. I actually really like that. I'd probably have that as a poster. Frame it up and hang it on my wall. That's cool. The graphic design work and fan art is just excellent. And here we go. Sniper Wolf. Is that Markiplier? That looks like Markiplier. Markiplier, is that you? I'm not just saying that because the guy, I mean, he looks Asian to me. But that looks like Markiplier. Markiplier, if you ever watch this video, which I highly doubt you will because my channel is ridiculously small, but if you ever want a cosplay, bud, there you go. That's awesome. Look at that chin. Man, you can cut diamond with that chin. And here we go. Oh, that's cool looking. And of course, the big boss. Actually, that'd be, spoiler alert, fake big boss.
Well, you know, I get that a lot. You know, they're both pretty great to play. I mean, I try to play them a little differently. They have different histories and different experiences. But I started with Solid Snake, so I kind of maybe feel a little closer to him. I started out as the clone, and then I got to play the original, and you know, both awesome, and to a certain extent they're very similar because they're the same DNA. But maybe I'm a little more emotionally close to Solid.
David Bowie. You know, I can agree with David in that regard. I know I was probably a little more closer to Solid Snake than Big Boss, mostly due to the fact that Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation was the first game that I ended up beating. And it makes you feel a little more for Solid Snake because he has such a convoluted background and he's not aware of a lot of things in his history. And in this game, you find out sort of how his upbringing was, and he didn't know he had a brother, and just he was a clone of Big Boss and everything. So it just you emotionally attach yourself to him more, I believe, so than Big Boss. That's just my opinion, though. A name means nothing on the battlefield. That's cool. Beautiful. Our respects to the Metal Gear Solid 5. And I don't know about you guys, but I really liked Quiet. And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of fanboyism and things out there in regards to Quiet and, sort of a sexualization of her. And, she's a beautiful lady for, a game character. And she was actually modeled after a real person, I believe. Her last name's Jostin. I'm not sure of her first name, and she is a very beautiful lady. But as far as the character is concerned, I really enjoyed her character, and she started off as hating the boss and fake Big Boss, and really pulled through for him in the end. And that's not something you see a lot in the Metal Gear series, but as far as, the sexualization of her and stuff, the Metal Gear series has a lot of strong leading women characters, Meryl, Fortune, Sniper Wolf, and Quiet. They pay homage to the females in the series too. And I don't think it's necessarily fair to say, oh, they over-sexualized her and everything when, you have Raiden running around buck-ass naked, and, they insinuate that him and, not Raiden, but the Colonel Volgin and the guy that looked like Raiden, I can't remember his name for the life of me. I'm sorry. I'm just really excited to play this, but they insinuated that they were having those two men were having a relationship, and there's just a lot of examples where they do the same thing to the men in the series, and as far as all the characters go, they're very strong characters, and they have a lot of depth to them. So I guess that's just kind of my comments on that situation, and I liked all the characters. I can't deny that. And that is cool. The picture of Kojima with the boss there, that's really cool. And one of those two is the creator of this project here. So I'm not sure who it is, excuse me. But whoever you are, left or right guy, you're the best, man. I love you for this. Thank you so much. That's cool that he added a picture of himself, and it looks like a buddy with him, and that's really cool. Mick Miller's hamburgers, dude. That is so cool. Kazuhiro's burgers. The lemon, pretty good. You're pretty good, huh? Alright, and what is this? Would you work on another Metal Gear if Konami would ask you so?
Yes, sure. Absolutely. I love playing Snake, and I love being a part of that world. So, yeah, if they were going to do... I'd want the game to be good, but yeah, I definitely, I would play Snake again in a second.
And, I really hope he does. I know there's a lot of controversy surrounding, him being replaced with Kiefer Sutherland, and, I can't blame the guy. He played Snake through pretty much a majority of all the games, and to be replaced like that had to hurt him. That would hurt me if I was on a project and I just got replaced for someone else. And not to discredit his claim or come to the aid of Kojima or Konami, but and I guess spoiler alert coming up. Maybe the reason why they did it was because you found out that the boss that you were playing, Big Boss, wasn't actually Big Boss. So they wanted to sort of exploit the fact that he wasn't actually Big Boss. But then it gets strange because then the real Big Boss is in the game and he has Kiefer Sutherland's voice and everything. And it was weird. It was weird for fans. Some got used to it. Some accepted it. Some liked it. I'm not going to say they're wrong or right. It's just, but at the same time, I can understand where David Hayter's coming from. And, it's definitely got to hurt. And Fortune, she's actually one of my favorite female characters. She was very strong. And in Metal Gear 2, you kind of learn her backstory and everything, and her father was the colonel on the tanker and everything, or he was a major or something. And what was interesting about her character is you sort of hold on, we'll get to this and then I'll finish my commentary. What do you think about the MGS fan community?
Oh, they're incredible. I have 111,000 Twitter followers, and they're so nice. Like they're so respectful and just decent people who really love the game, and people who have genuine appreciation for what you've done is really amazing. So the fan community is incredible. Every time I go to a fan expo or a Comic-Con, there's just lines of people who want to talk about Metal Gear and how it changed their lives, and it's a very amazing group of people.
And I really appreciate that comment. Some of the Metal Gear fans out there, most of them are they absolutely love this game. They fell in love with this game, and to meet someone that you've been listening to as your favorite character for a couple decades now almost. It's an amazing experience, and I really appreciate him commenting on that. And I personally have never met David, but it's on my bucket list of things to do before I leave this earth. So hopefully one day that'll be able to happen. And we are now in the map part where you fight. Oh my goodness, I was going to say Volgan, but it's Vulcan Raven. There we go. Jeez. I'm trying to play this, and I'm just excited to get through this, so I'm drawing blanks sometimes, but Vulcan Raven, of course, and you throw the grenade into the tank there and blow him out of it, and then he shows up later and stuff. But this was one of the memorable moments in the game because this was the first boss fight. And you knew once that tank rolled up that shit was about to go down. And I can't tell you how many times I died until I actually figured out that I had to throw a grenade in there. And it was epic. It was actually a ahead of its time sort of sense as far as boss fights went. Instead of just clicking a couple buttons, you actually had to use strategy. And it was amazing. That's another reason why this game was ahead of its time, and it really was. But to follow up on Fortune, which I almost forgot about until I came into here and was stunned by the beauty. She was really, I have to say, female character. She was definitely one of my favorites, and she played a smaller part, and she ended up dying. But what I really liked about it was, everyone had these superhuman or supernatural abilities due to the nanomachines. But as you find out in Metal Gear Solid 2, Revolver, Ocelot / Liquid, essentially disabled her nanomachines, and of course, Snake and Raiden are on that platform, and they're being bombarded by essentially an army of Metal Gears, or Metal Gear Rays, excuse me. And after her nanomachines are shut down, she's injured, she still displays an act of, supernatural ability, and repels the missiles and artillery that these Rays are firing at Raiden and Snake. So that's really kind of one area that, at least to my knowledge, where it's really strange, and it actually showed that she had some superhuman capability inside of her that was not due to the nanomachines, and that was really unique. And I just thought overall she was a badass character with her large energy gun and everything, and she was easy on the eyes. You gotta admit that. So I really did enjoy Fortune, and I wish they wouldn't have killed her, but hey, it's Metal Gear. Everyone dies, or unless they're not part of the continuity of the story. And we'll get into this question. Is there anything you would like to say to the fans?
Yes, I'd like to say thank you so much for your years of playing the game with me, and all of your thousands and thousands of wonderful, kind messages of support, and all of your support during the Metal Gear 5 thing. And I just want to say, Snake still got your back.
That is so cool how he has his normal voice, and then he snaps right into the Solid Snake. Deep, grungy voice. And I can't do it. I mean, I'm not David Hayter, so there are people out there that can do his voice and do it, pretty close to justice, and that's cool. And that's awesome. Essentially, this is the end of part 1 right here, but there is more. I didn't go to the part that I'm about to go to now because there is a bug in this game right now. So we're going to go back to that part. What happens is when you go down to the basement, B2, in this building here, once you come back out, it starts you out at the beginning, and then I'd have to run all the way through and get to this part again. So I skipped that portion, but we're gonna go back there now and explore the basement area, and that will probably do the end of the gameplay. But it seems like I'm moving slower. I don't know if that's the case, but it seems that way. Come on. Maybe if I jump a little, that'll help. I don't know. We'll get there. Come on. Snake must be tired from smoking all them cigarettes. And just to comment on that even, this is another reason why the game was ahead of its time. They utilized, basic things like basic unhealthy things like cigarettes, and implemented them into the game. You're like, why would I need to smoke cigarettes in this game? What does that have any use as far as being utilized in the game? And if you don't have the night vision or thermal goggles or anything, you actually find out in this portion right here that you smoke the cigarettes to see the laser traps and everything, and it's so awesome. And here's the armory level, so we'll go into there. But it was really just ahead of its time. You could literally utilize everything in the game and have it be used for the tactical espionage that this game is about, and it's amazing. That is really awesome. I like that. That's another thing that I would frame and put up on my wall. So that's great. And who remembers this? Who remembers this guy right here? Psycho Mantis. I can't tell you how many times I tried to beat Psycho Mantis, and every time I would die, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here, man? But you know, eventually you find out. Spoiler alert: if you haven't played the game, you have to switch your controller port to controller port 2, and uh, it was unheard of, it breaking the fourth wall, so to speak, and it was awesome. Which Metal Gear is your favorite one?
Well, I love them all, but I always say that I think Snake Eater is probably my favorite.
Oh,
The
we gotta stay by
executed
this one.
game, and I love the retro feel of it, and um, the jungle of it was so beautiful, and I just thought it was a very, very cool, unique game.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 was definitely awesome. They introduced the camouflage system in that game, and you know, that was the first game where you played as Big Boss, so that was an interesting perspective because the whole time you had played as Solid Snake, and for the first time ever, you're playing as his technical father. Um, and it was interesting to learn his backstory and everything. And I know when I played, I was actually confused because it's like, you know, this is he looks the same as Solid Snake and everything, and I thought it was Solid Snake, but it was set in the 60s. And I was like, how is this possible? You know, he didn't age at all from the 60s to the 90s and beyond, you know. So it was interesting to actually figure out that he was the big boss for me, because I didn't follow any magazines. I didn't know what this game was about. I liked to be surprised back in those days when I played the games, and I knew every time I played a Metal Gear Solid game that I was just going to be filled with emotion and the awesome intensity of the game. So I thoroughly enjoyed that game, and I would definitely say between this game and 3, that's probably my favorites out of the series. And here we are. Y'all recognize this if you played the first game. This is the area in which Revolver Ocelot fought Solid Snake. And of course, Frank Yeager, aka the Gray Fox, came down and interrupted the fight and cut off his hand and a little bit of his forearm, which Liquid then grabbed and used as, or excuse me, which he, which that's really cool. Sorry, I got distracted. Which Ocelot actually used Liquid's arm to become Liquid Ocelot. So this is where that all went out. Oh, that is really cool. I'm sorry, I keep getting sidetracked. It's just trying to navigate this and looking at all the art and appreciating its beauty is sometimes overwhelming. Like it's really giving me the feels right now, and you know, I'm smiling intently on the inside, and at the same time, I'm kind of sad. You know, I just I really wish Konami would make this game and hire Mr. Hernandez to do it. I mean, a one-man army, and he created this game. So here's the last thing that we're going to explore here, and it says, for you, which moment has been the most epic one from the entire Metal Gear Solid saga?
The most epic moment, I think the final fight with Liquid in Metal Gear 4, when we're on the submarine and we're well, first we have the fight between Metal Gear Ray and Metal Gear Rex, which was amazing. And then the final fisted fight where they're going through all of the old music and all of the old scores are playing again, and it
Yeah.
was such a beautiful way to sort of cap the Solid Snake story. I thought that was pretty epic.
And that I couldn't agree more. You know, that's one of the most memorable moments. That's the culmination of the Solid Snake series fighting Liquid, and you know, especially the duality between Rex and Ray, old technology versus new technology, and them fighting. That's definitely one of the best moments in the Metal Gear Solid saga. You know, there you could argue that there were moments in the Big Boss saga, especially in regards to the boss and Peace Walker, which is canon, not canon, but that is definitely two of the moments that really stuck out in Metal Gear Solid 4. But guys, that's really it for this. Like I said, This is part one of, I don't know how many parts are to be released. Mr. Hernandez is on record as saying that there are more parts to come. As far as I understand, they are finished. He's just having trouble finding a way to upload them, and users are having trouble downloading it. Especially, I'm playing on PC. Mac users are having some problems right now. As far as I know, on this date, that could change in the future. But from what I understand, if you go on Facebook, the page is called Shadow Moses. That is where this project is coming from. That is where I'm following it, at least. He has promised that he's going to try to get the next part out this weekend, so I'll download it as quick as I possibly can, get you the next episode up of that. But as far as that goes, I have to say one more thing before I end the video. Konami, make this game. Please, just make the game. Hire him to finish this game with you guys. If you want to restore any semblance of fan service, or cater to what your fans actually want, make this game. This is what the fans want. We want this game that was released in, I think, 98 or 99 to be remastered, redone, remade using modern technology to be able to play and have those feelings of nostalgia again and interact with the game in a brand new way. We want this game to be done. If you're smart, you will do this. You will sell millions of copies. You will make many fans happy and possibly restore the faith of the fans that let's be honest, you've kind of let them down recently. I know you have the Metal Gear Survive coming out. I'm not going to say whether that's going to be a good or bad thing. I know it's an alternate universe, but fans want core mechanics. They want what works. They want what has been proven to work, and this is one of those areas in which you can deliver that. So please, make this game, hire this man, and make this happen. But without further ado, guys, that is it. This is Metal Gear Solid: The Fan Legacy. Museum-style video game done in the style of Metal Gear Solid 1, stripped of its gameplay just to illustrate what could be in the fantastic saga of Metal Gear Solid. And as always, this is Airam Games. If you liked the video, comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you guys, and peace.